everybody, welcome back to the Possibly Craig YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Yes, today we've got a nice video in regards to how we've dealt with the lockdowns, the pandemics, and how it's brought us closer together, and how it's going to obviously change our futures moving forward and how our lives are going to be from now on. So yeah, hope you're really going to enjoy this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure you like, subscribe and comment, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my new videos. So yeah, let's get straight into this. Welcome back everybody. Yes, today we're going to be talking about lockdown love and some amazing stories from people who sent them to me in regards to when lockdown happened, the first time, second time, and various different things, how that's affected them and how people have managed to come together against adversity and find love and partnership and happiness through what we can only describe as a really turbulent last year and a half, 2 years. It's been a bit of a crazy one, as we all know. We all had to go into lockdown. It was a pandemic. The world was obviously split. We weren't allowed to go and see people. We weren't allowed to interact with people. We weren't allowed to see the people we love, or even get out there and meet potentially the love of our lives. So how has that looked for us? How has that looked for the world, and how has it changed the way our social interactions have been? Because if you cast your memory back before all the pandemic, you know, we were allowed to go out to town, we were allowed to pubs, go out to clubs, go to parties, and you know, we'd meet with people, you know, we'd socialise, you know, we'd have, you know, we'd build relationships, friendships, you know, even romantic, you know, partnerships during this lockdown. But you know, this has literally all changed for us. And how is it, you know, how does it look now? You know, how are you supposed to meet somebody when you can't go out and see them face to face? It's all become very, very digital. We're all online now. It's all video calling, video conferencing, video dating. There's so many different ways. But has it stopped us? Has it stopped the world from finding love and finding happiness? No, it hasn't. So let's look at a few different ways in which people have come together, and also how the world has adapted to such an amazing world-changing event like lockdown basically put us in, and how that's looking now moving forward. Okay, so how did we do? What did we do? And how did we manage to keep our relationships and all our contact obviously still going during this time? So basically the first thing that I think a lot of people were doing is obviously staying in contact through text messages, WhatsApp, various things like that. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys out there, when it comes to finding love, dating, it's been a bit of a struggle. It's been quite hard to sort of get to that point where you can maybe get to know someone really well. You know, you can't take them out for a drink, you can't go out for a meal, you can't go to the cinema with them. You know, and this is where I think some of the most amazing love stories have come from. Some of the most amazing things have come from the adversity and the problems that we've had during lockdown, and how we've managed to struggle through that. And it's changed how dating and seeing people and relationships has changed moving forward. So one of the things that I think is quite commendable with some of the stories I've received is the strength, the efforts, the commitment, the long time people have waited. Because what you've got to understand, when, you know, if you met somebody and you went straight into lockdown, you know, we were apart for over a year and a half, you know, and that takes and shows testament to, if you're willing to wait for something amazing, if you're willing to wait for, you know, the right person, waiting is, you know, is nothing. If you know it's right, you know it's true, then you'd be willing to wait. You'd be willing to wait for the person who, you know, you feel is right for you. And the satisfaction when you come out of lockdown, when obviously everything started going back to normal, and you started to meet up, and you went on your first actual date, you actually went out to the pub, you went out to the cinema, you know, you met up for the first time, you know, that is, it allows us, and I definitely think something that you need to embrace is, remember how lucky we were before all of this and how much it's changed now, and we took for granted what it was like to have that friendship, that companionship, and that amazing connection with, you know, whoever the person is that you wanted to, you know, commit to or be with. And this is where I definitely think that, you know, it shows the world, even in the face of diversity, COVID, lockdowns, it will not stop you. It will not stop the world carrying on. It will not stop us, you know, finding love and finding the way out of this. And I think that's such a true testament. You know, how has it affected you? Have you had any stories? Are you watching this video now thinking, you know what, I met my partner, or my, you know, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my, you know, my spouse, my whoever, you know, you may be married now, I don't know, but whoever you met, you know, how has that endured? Have you combated it? Have you gone through hard times? Have you gone through tough times? And how has it looked for you? Because as we all know, it's very, very, very tough starting a new relationship, you know, starting out in the beginning and trying to gauge, you know, whether people like you, whether, you know, you're saying the right things. But, you know, how can you do that without the body language? You know what I mean? It's a totally alien world. But do you know what? It's been some amazing stories, and you know what? Let's get into some of these stories, because you know what? They're absolutely amazing. I absolutely love everybody who sent me the stories, everybody who's took the willingness to take the time to tell me their journey, tell me what's happened to them, and how amazing things have ended up in the end. And do you know what? You're going to love these. Okay, right. First story I got sent to me, and they've allowed me to use the names in this. Obviously, not surnames, just first names. We've got Chris and Diana. Okay, Chris and Diana. They live in England, which was nice. And they were hit in the first lockdown. Just after they first started talking online, they started on Tinder, first chatting, and they met each other, started chatting, and they'd actually planned to go on a date, and the date was the day after the first lockdown. So basically what happened with them is they had to sort of put their relationship on hold. Now, they felt in the beginning it was really compatible. They were, you know, felt there was a real good connection there. But they tried their best to keep, obviously, in contact as much as they can. They committed to keep texting. They were talking every night. They were, you know, messaging, and then eventually, Chris asked her on a video date. Now, this is probably something that a lot of you guys out there have had to do. He asked her to go on a video date, and what he'd actually set up is he'd set up a table. He got some candles out, so he didn't do it by halves. He did an amazing job. Set out a table, got some candles out. He said to her, one thing I need you to do is make sure that you've got some wine or a drink at your end. And then what he asked her to do is turn her camera on and cover her eyes. And what he'd done is he laid all his table out, he'd lit all the candles and everything. And when he said, right, open your eyes, it was as if they were sat opposite each other. Now, I think, to me, I think that's such a heartwarming thing to do, because what else can you do when you're not allowed to go near people? What can you do when you're not allowed to be face to face? It's making the best of a tough situation, but it also shows that regardless of whether or not you're sat in front of somebody, or whether or not they're, you know, the other side of the country to you, that you can still make that effort, show that love and that appreciation for that person, even by something as simple as putting on a video date. Now, I absolutely love this story. This to me, I pictured it immediately. I could see what it was about, and what it was, you know, what I would imagine it to be like. And basically, on the feedback from Diana, is she literally started crying, which I felt was such a lovely thing, because even now we're allowed to go back and see each other and see everybody again. I think if somebody did that for you now, you know, you'd be overwhelmed with you know, with the appreciation and the love somebody would show for you. So I'd like to say, you know, congratulations and well done to those two. They managed to make it work. They managed to keep it going during lockdown, and they had regular dates, and they have now met up. They are now officially together now, and they've been out, they've been to the cinema recently, and I want to say congratulations, well done you guys. It's fantastic to hear a success story coming from there. I'm overwhelmed with joy for you guys. There's nothing more heartwarming and heartfelt when people make that effort. You know, regardless of what's happening, we're making the best of a situation. Because we could all give up and get despondent about, oh, we can't go out, so we can't find love, we can't do this. But that just shows a perfect example, and that's the first example of people who will find love, will make that effort, will go to that extra length to make sure that you can show how much somebody cares for you. So maybe have a little think of that, maybe try that at home, maybe take tips from those two and get your own little video date set up, even if you can't see each other, say you're working away or you live distance part away, like long distance relationships. Maybe try that, see if it works for you, because you know what, I think it's a great idea and I absolutely love it. Okay, so the second love story, this one is quite an intense story. This unfortunately didn't want to give me the names because they are from overseas. They said I could tell you that they're from America, and they basically said that when they first met up, they went on. This is quite an intense story. I'll warn you now. They met up a week before lockdown, and they were dating and they were going out with each other, and they got very, very drunk and they spent the night together. Yes, they spent the night together. And inevitably, during lockdown, you can imagine what's coming next is a new arrival popped up. Yes, they, as a couple, as they were still dating, managed to conceive a little baby, which is absolutely fantastic. But what do you do there? Right, you're apart from each other. You've basically now been told that you're going to be a father, you're going to be a mother. How do you express that now? What an amazing thing to happen, and what a tough situation for someone to be put in. How would you deal with that? How would you cope with that? Now, as knowing you're not allowed to see each other, not allowed to spend time together, but also knowing that you're going to have to obviously try and do this long distance of trying to have a baby and raise a baby together. Like, for instance, first scans, various different things. And they said that it was incredibly tough on the relationship, because all they wanted to do is spend time together, do what parents do. You know, new parents go to the scans, go to the, pick out these things, you know, go shopping, go do all the usual things, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And it's an amazing thing that they managed to keep it going, keep as close as they possibly could with the relationship. But when it comes to time when the little one was due to be born, he was only allowed to go in, because obviously you're only allowed to go in as a birthing partner, and that was pretty much almost the first time he got to actually really spend time with his new partner, and she was having his baby. Wow, what an amazing story! What an absolutely mind-blowing story that that can happen, because you're forced apart with something so big that should bring you together, and trying to deal with that emotionally, physically, having to miss out on some of the things that you would normally do as a couple when you're having a baby together. And that is amazing. And again, they won't give me the name of the little girl that was born, but a little girl was born, very healthy, very well, and now the couple are together. They've moved in together. They're actually now living in a house together, and dun, 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 they've got engaged. Woo! Yes, they've got engaged, which I think is fantastic. I think it's a lovely story, because what such power of having a baby, being a parent, having that sort of in your life is overwhelming. It's a fantastic thing, and to share that with somebody is unbelievable. But I can't even imagine what that must have been like for the pair of them, to be apart, to be separated, when something so strong brings you together. Amazing story. And you know what, I want to say congratulations for your birth of your lovely daughter. Congratulations on your engagement. I wish you all the very best. Do you know what, I saw the picture of you guys when you sent me it, and you look like an absolutely amazing couple, and I wish you the absolute best in the world. I hope everything works out for you. I'm so glad that everything is come together, even after such a tragic time of obviously lockdown and COVID and everything, that you've made it work and you've started a fantastic family, and you know, you're starting a great future together. So well done, you guys. You know what, my heart goes out to you. It must have been tough, but you know what, you got there in the end. Okay, so I've saved probably one of the nicest stories for last. This was one that was sent to me by a couple that literally met during lockdown and due to COVID. This is a story that was sent to me. It was sent to me by a couple who met in the hospital. Okay, now this is a fantastic story. They basically was a young man who went into hospital with, he doesn't want to give me his name, and she didn't want to give her name because they were quite embarrassed when I said I wanted to feature them in my video, but they said they'd love the story to be out there, but they were a bit too shy to give their names out, which is fine. Do you know what, you know what I mean? I think, you know, it is a bit of a tough situation. You know what I mean? If someone's going to sort of speak to you and talk about you on, you know, on a live video, you know, on YouTube. So I understand, obviously they were a little bit embarrassed, but trust me, this story is not embarrassing. This story is one of the most amazing stories. It's like something out of a fairy tale, this. Okay, so the young man, he went into hospital, diagnosed COVID, and he was unfortunately very, very ill due to COVID, as I'm sure you guys know out there. If you have any underlying respiratory issues or anything like that, that can acerbate it really. This poor guy, he did have underlying medical conditions. I think he said it was COPD, I think it was. Somebody just check that. Yeah. And he basically said that it hit him really hard. He hadn't had any of the vaccinations, and he went to hospital, and he was on his ventilator, and he was struggling, and he met this lovely nurse there, that who was caring for him, would always look after him, would always like try and, you know, get messages to him from his family, and they instantly made this sort of like a bond together, where she was trying to keep him alive, and he was trying to, you know, trying his best to sort of keep himself alive. And it was a tough situation for him to be in, because, you know, the amount of people who went into hospital who weren't as lucky to survive COVID. You know, I'm sure you guys and girls out there, you know, you've got people who've gone into hospital, and unfortunately, God bless you, have never come back out again. And you know, this is the situation they were under, and he was in hospital for a long time, and he kept seeing this nurse, and this nurse was really nice. She kept going on to social media for him, and speaking to his family and his friends to give them updates on what was happening and how his condition was, because unfortunately he couldn't really breathe. So, you know, he was texting, but it was nice that this nurse took the time to help him. And what he did in return is, once he started getting a little bit better, he managed to get in touch with his family and say, listen, there's this nurse who he thought was, to be honest with you, there's to quote, I think is my guardian angel, who's been absolutely amazing. She's looked after me, she's cared for me, she's gone out of her way. Now, this is what you've got to understand, is a lot of people out there will help people, but the NHS, the people on the front line, the people who are battling this, you know, they're right there. They are saving lives, they are doing their best for people, and they turn up for work every day and give their best, work their hardest, and save people from this horrible disease. So what he did is he actually got a couple of the nurses as well. He got on his social media, got in touch with some of his family, got in touch with some of the nurses, and basically arranged to get flowers, chocolates sent to her house. Now, obviously, I know it sounds a little bit creepy, obviously he's doing that, but to me, obviously, you're not, as you know, you're not allowed flowers in a hospital, and obviously you're not allowed to bring anything in. So he actually got stuff sent to a house, which I think was absolutely fantastic. And he wrote, and well, he got them to write in the card, "You're my guardian angel." Let me just quote this: "You're my guardian angel. I felt I was never going to come out of this until I met you. You have changed my life. You have saved my life. I will forever be in your debt." And I think that is such a lovely sentiment. And what actually happened because of that is when he got discharged from hospital, he actually asked her out on a date. He actually said to her, "Right, I'm well now, I'm being discharged, but I want to take you out on a date." You know, lucky enough they were both single, and they arranged to go on a date. They couldn't go out straight away because there were still aspects where restaurants and stuff weren't open, but they've since hooked up. They've started dating each other. They're now going out with each other, and he every day, he says that every day he thanks her, because not only has she saved his life, she's saved his future as well. She's give him hope. She's give him a new lease of life, where you think at one point that it's the end. You think, I've got COVID, I'm in here, I've already got issues anyway. You're seeing people, God bless you, around you, unfortunately, passing away from this disease. So what? You think you're next. But then somebody absolutely special comes in, helps you, supports you, and makes such a difference to you that you think of them as your guardian angel. Now, what a beautiful story, what an amazing story, that somebody at the brink of death, and somebody who is on the front line of dealing with COVID patients and various other things, can endure that, save people, and also then find love during that time, during the toughest times of his life, some of the toughest times of her life as a nurse, battling the overwhelming capacity of people getting ill during the time, but to find love, to come together, and I believe that, I think this is going to be an absolutely truly magical relationship. To come from something as powerful, something as deep, something as passionate as that, and build love from that, and what a way to come together from the worst depths of this desperation to absolute true happiness. Now, I want to say a huge thank you for sharing that story with me. It was I picked this one out because it's, to be honest, one of my favourite stories where it come out. I'd say I had a couple of stories that come up, but this one really stood out for me. It got me a little bit emotional because I was thinking, wow, well, it is like something out of a film. It's like something out of a movie that they got together, and they've started this new life together, COVID free, all double jabbed now, all good to go. But you know what, congratulations to you guys. I hope you have a long and romantic and lustrous life together. It really is one of my favourite stories I've heard from all the stories that I've been sent. I'm sorry that I couldn't read all of them out today. I just have to pick a few out, obviously, because I could have gone on for hours with this video, and I don't really want to do that and bore you all to death. But I hope you listen to that story. I hope that touches your heart like it touched mine, because what an amazing thing to find love during the hardest times of our lives. In our lifetime, we've never faced anything like this, and this is really put a test on a lot of people, put a test on how we're going to stamp out, being told we've got to stay in and we can't do this, we can't do that. The world's opening back up again, and now we're learning to live alongside this epidemic now, was pandemic, sorry, and find love, find happiness. Because not only have I talked about the people in this regards to finding new love, this also relates to people who are already in love, people who are in relationships together. Because being locked up, being cooped up in the house together, being under each other's noses all the time, can sometimes put a lot of strain on relationships. Can really sort of really drive the knife in. Sometimes the littlest thing can start becoming a big thing, that big things then start coming into things that potentially could start putting the spanners in the works of relationships. So you need to understand that you need to have patience. You need to understand that everyone's frustrated, everyone has been frustrated, and finding the patience and the kindness to come through this with the right state of mind, your heart, your well-being, everything that's really important to you and you want to strive for with you and your partner. Take the time to sit down, talk it out. Don't make rash decisions, don't make anything stupid. Try and make it work. If you can't make it work, then at least you know, if you can say that you've sat down, you've tried, then that's all you can do. You've given it your all, you give it your best, you've done as much as you can. Sometimes the cookie crumbles that way, that's the way it's going to go, and sometimes it can be better to, you know, go part your ways, but not always. If you're willing to work at it, if you're willing to work hard at it, you can make it work. So yeah, don't forget, no matter whether it's new love, old love, or forever love, you still need to work on it, and you need to really, really make a good job of it, because sometimes you never know what you've got till it's gone. Yeah, so we've talked a lot about new relationships, love and various other things, but as I said, this is going to change our future now. This is going to change the way everything's done now. The world isn't going to go back to normal overnight. It's going to take time, and eventually it will become something that we all talk about, you know, something we celebrate, something like, you know what, do you remember the year, you know, 2020, the year of the great toilet roll famine, and you couldn't buy pasta and you couldn't buy all these things because everyone, you know, thought that there was never going to be any stock in the shops again. You know, and it's some fun memories, some crazy memories, some funny memories that have come from this, and also some amazing stories and love that's come from this. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, we will be celebrating at one point, you know, our first COVID Christmas, our first, you know, 2020, our first time that we survived COVID, and it's been a crazy time. It's been a crazy world, and we're now starting to adjust to it, adapt to it, and get our heads around it now. So you know what, I hope you guys all out there have found someone who cares for you, or rekindled love that may have been pittering or lost in your relationship, that you've brought yourselves together. COVID has brought you together, brought you closer, and allowed you to sort of get things, you know, going back for you and your relationship, sparked it up, new light, new love. And I hope it all works out for you guys, and I hope the future looks bright, because it is looking bright now. It is all behind us now, and we need to look towards the future. You know, this isn't going to stop us anymore. This isn't going to disrupt the world like it has done. This is going to be our future. So let's make the best of it. Let's do the best that we possibly can and move forward and enjoy it as best as we can. So you know what? Thank you very much for watching my video today. I've really loved talking about this and the stories. Once again, I can't thank you enough for sending me your stories. I'm sorry I couldn't read all of them out today. I just picked a few of the really choice ones out that really meant a lot to me. As I say, I can do a follow-up video to this if you do want to hear more stories, so make sure you like, comment down below if you'd like to do another video on this, maybe one dedicated to all the stories that have been sent. But if not, if you've got new stories, if you've got stories that you haven't sent and you're watching this video, please direct message me on Instagram, Facebook, or any media that I'm on there, because I'm on all the social medias. Get in touch with me, reach out, talk to me, and we can make this special. We can, you know, celebrate your love, celebrate the funny things that have happened to you, the crazy things, and really, you know, get through this together, because it is now, this is part of our history. This is what we're going to talk about from years to come. How I met my partner during lockdown, how I met my partner during COVID. These are going to be our stories. These are going to be our legacies that we're going to tell to our children, our grandchildren, and the future generations. So let's all enjoy it. Let's really talk about the things that we've loved the most out of such a rough situation, and share it with the world. So yeah, thank you very much for watching my videos, and thank you very much for joining me, all the new subscribers and everybody who's supporting my channel at the moment. If you are looking to do any collaborations with me, please contact me directly. Let me know what it is that you'd like to do. If it's on Instagram, Facebook, you have a YouTube channel dedicated to mental health support, please contact me. I'd love to collaborate with you. You know, mention your channel, support your channel, and I'd like you guys to support me back. So yeah, please get in touch. I'd love to hear from you all. Even in the comment section, just please get in touch with me, and we can hook up, have a little chat, and we can support each other. So yeah, I want to say thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Positively Craig. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.